Welcome to Healing Echoes. Today we have with us Kathy Baldwin. After hitting rock bottom, Kathy embarked on a self-guided healing journey. Using innovative methodologies from her studies in neuroscience, biology, quantum physics, and energy healing, Kathy transformed her life. Inspired by her breakthrough, she dedicated herself to empowering others to unlock their potential and create lasting change. She founded Rise Up Coaching and wrote Unlearn the Crap, offering a range of coaching programs and weekly live sessions. She continues to guide others through their pivotal crossroads, committed to her mission of personal transformation. Hey, Kathy, how are you doing?
I am awesome, Caitlin. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited for our conversation today.
I've been looking forward to it.
So I did want to just start with you talking a little bit about, I know I did the intro, but more about what you do, definitely more about your book. So let's start there.
Okay, so the book was just released on Amazon. It is so fresh at this very moment that my website is still in its final letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
But the book is called Unlearn the Crap, about personal success and empowerment. And basically, the book is not only about my healing journey, but it's showing the readers how disempowered we have become by social I call it social abuse or societal abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically to keep us in control as a consumer and a worker.
Right.
Then it shows how we can heal our past, how we can cut the traumas of the past and take away all of the triggers and the emotional connection to it so that we're free. And then the last stage is I teach how I work with my clients to create your own identity once you're connected with your inner self.
Wow. I love that. It hits on a lot, like multiple different really important topics and or avenues. I look forward to reading it myself. It's actually already on my list.
Well, it's available on Amazon.
Well, when we publish this, I'll make sure to include it in the show notes for anybody who might be interested.
Wonderful.
And then I know previously when we talked, we definitely wanted to talk about self-abuse and what that can look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you lead from here.
Well, the book was written out of my own personal journey. And I had a lifetime of trauma, a lifetime of abuse. And it defined me for a very, very long time. In my healing journey, I discovered that, first of all, my fibromyalgia, my osteoarthritis, my adrenal fatigue, all of that was a result of my traumas and everything that I have gone through. But I minimized it in my head, and I went and I pushed it down, and I didn't realize the effect that it had on me. When I went through my healing journey and I became an energy healer to release all of the energy in my body, I realized that the main trauma was self-inflicted self-abuse. And because the emotion code and the body code allow the subconscious to lead you to what the subconscious wants you to know, it became very clear that it was not physical actions that were done to me. It was my inability to have boundaries, to protect myself, to not say yes when I meant no, to not put myself last, breaking promises to myself. All of the things that were what I thought were being good, being, putting myself out there. In hindsight, I know it was self-sabotage. I know it was self-abuse. But in the time I was doing it, I thought I was doing the right things.
Yeah, because you're honoring everyone else except for yourself, in a sense.
Yeah, and that's how I was raised. You take care of everybody else and you're last. And
yeah.
So,
yeah. I definitely relate to that. That was the behavior that was modeled to me, and I did it for a very long time myself. So definitely. What are some tips that you have that maybe you used yourself or you give to other people to kind of, first of all, identify how people are self-abusing and then how to get out of that pattern?
Well, the first thing you have to do is acknowledge it. And I was a prime person that just kept pushing it aside and pushing myself through.
Mm-hmm.
My body was talking to me. It was telling me there was something wrong, and I wasn't listening.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the message that I'm trying to get out into the world right now, is that our bodies are talking to us. We need to listen.
Yeah.
It is our body knows when we're going down the wrong path. It's trying to communicate to us through feelings, through physical experiences, through stress, through our gut, through our heart, through our thoughts. I mean, every part of our body, it has a physical and energetic connection to us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have never been taught to go inside. We've never been taught to learn how to listen to our heart, how to communicate with ourselves. It was always about how we could be of service to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really, really important for me to get the message out that we do more damage to ourselves than anyone could do to us.
Yeah.
Because when I went through the healing and I had to look myself in the eyes and apologize to myself for not protecting myself,
Mm-hmm.
for treating myself so badly. And I would never do that to anybody else.
Yeah.
I would never treat anyone the way I treated myself. And it was a hard pill to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a huge awakening to realize that I could say no.
Yeah.
I didn't know what boundaries were.
Yeah.
I had to discover what they were. I knew how to take care of everything and everybody else in business and in every other part of my life.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what a mission statement was. I didn't know how to create values. I didn't know how to define what my beliefs were.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an evolution of what life threw at me.
Right. Yeah, I know I faced that recently myself, with coaching, having a coach and being asked those questions, like, what are your values? What are your beliefs? And kind of coming to like a dead stop because I didn't know how to verbalize it because I'd always just taken care of everything outside of myself. And like you touched on, like, I would never do this to somebody else. I've thought that myself, but I heard a song the other day where he says that. He says, I would never talk to a friend the way I talk to myself. Think sometimes we really are our own worst enemies. We do more damage than anybody else ever could.
Absolutely. We can't escape ourselves.
Yeah, no. It's always in here or in here. That interconnectedness is a lot more important than I think a lot of people realize. I do think we're, as a society, the more we talk about it, especially with things like this and books like yours, people are starting to hear it. So they're starting to do the research and learn that, like, it really is all connected. And if your body's shutting down, it's usually sending you a message. Especially when it's like that nervous system related stuff, you know?
Absolutely. I was taught that a doctor was the one who could fix or do anything for my body. I didn't know that I could do it myself. So when you bring up the central nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
when we live in constant stress, where our sympathetic nervous system is on,
Mm-hmm.
and that is our danger, get us to safety part of our nervous system. Yeah. It's meant to be on in those moments of extreme danger to get us to safety.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be on 99% of the time.
No.
And when we're living in that constant stress,
yeah,
our body is now living in a place that we should never do. And then the amount of suppression of our thoughts and our emotions and denying our realities and not talking about, you were absolutely right. We need to normalize the human experience
mm-hmm.
and not judge ourselves because of somebody else's actions.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like you said, that apologizing to yourself, I had to do that as well. And I think that hurt, but also was like the most forgiving, most clarity I've ever felt was just apologizing to myself, especially for the things that like I'd done or chosen to do in adulthood, because I knew it was my responsibility and I wasn't honoring myself. So yeah, I think that like admitting it, addressing it, and then like just forgiving yourself for it, it's definitely really important for sure. So I know in the intro I had mentioned that you're a coach.
Yes.
Are you still coaching?
Yes.
What exactly what is your coaching specifically?
My coaching is very different than everybody else's. And the reason is I don't guide or tell or anything like that. I believe that we are interconnected, interrelated systems. Our body has multiple systems in it, and those systems work in connection with everything. Those systems are an interrelated, interconnected system to the world.
Right.
We are connected to universal laws. My coaching is about unlearning the crap we were told about we're here to serve everybody else. Mm-hmm. And come back to teaching us and my clients about our body, what those signals mean, how to know what is going on internally and externally so that you can have a conversation with yourself and use your power to drive your life and drive your dreams like you would drive a car with a GPS. Mm-hmm. And so it's about helping people to find themselves, mm-hmm. because I don't believe anything or anybody outside of us has more power than we do inside of ourselves. And we just need to learn how.
Right. That's awesome. I don't think I've heard like you were not wrong in saying you don't coach like other people, because I don't think I've heard of specifically a coach doing it in that manner. I think that's really important, especially because if you're teaching someone how to love themselves or how to honor themselves, how to, hear and go inward, if they've never done it before, they don't even know where to start. Because I know when I started, a lot of people were like, just go inward. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know how to listen to myself.
Yeah. So how do I do that?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's, see, we've been taught when it comes to meditation and things like that to just trust, just do. Yeah. But I'm one of those people who always said, let me understand. If I can understand, I don't need to memorize. It just becomes, I just know, right? Yeah. So that is how I healed myself. That was the journey I took myself on. And then I realized how important this information was to get it out there. So I teach so that it is understandable that it is a physical, biological, electromagnetic, chemical reactions that are happening in our body so that we can tangibly understand what is happening. Yeah. How we can understand what the senses mean, and how, when you do that, how you can connect to your intuition in a way that you can have a two-way conversation.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Especially because when it comes to things like this, a lot of people think that it is all psychological or all emotional. That, like we've said before, that interconnectedness really, I think it's starting to dawn on people that it's real. Like it's something you can feel. It's something your physical body reacts to. It is not just in our heads. It's very much real, and our bodies will react to things. It's just learning that. I've absolutely loved talking to you previously and now, because I just love the way that you explain things. I think especially for people who are just starting out, it makes it much more understandable, much more real. A lot of people get very intimidated by the thought of having to heal or having to go inward. So I just love the way you explain things.
Thank you so much for saying that, because that was what I was trying so much to achieve, is that we're talked either down to or too high above.
Yeah.
But why don't we just have normal everyday conversation and normalize all of this?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to talk in a way that people understand. I know previously in another interview, I was saying the same thing. I was like, yeah, you have to explain it in a way without words or, phrases that people are going to just be intimidated by because they don't know what it means, they're more likely to just shut down and say, never mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very important. I love that you do that.
Well, on that note, Caitlin, there's a part of our brain that must be right.
Yeah.
It is part of our programming, and it is part of our survival mechanism. When we hit against something that our brain doesn't know, it immediately says, get out of here.
Yeah, it's like,
so
no.
it'll force you to run.
Yeah.
When it's just a simple matter of the words we choose and how we explain things. So
yeah, they really do have a lot of power. I think knowing that, especially being an author and working with people, you realize that. I think it's very, very vital. So is there any like tips or words of encouragement that you want to give anybody that we haven't touched on?
The main thing that I really want people to know is they are more powerful than they know, than anyone has ever let us know, that it is tangible and physically possible to heal the past without being re-traumatized. We can take anything and everything and use it for our empowerment. We do not have to be a victim. We do not have to believe that fear means that we're in the wrong place and run away. It means you're in a new place that your programming doesn't know how to handle. And when you can say to your program mind, I'm in control, we're okay, I'm safe. And you can turn on and off your central nervous system, and you can control your own stress.
Yeah.
That you are fully, totally empowered.
Yeah.
And nothing is impossible. The second thing that I really want people to know is that everything and everybody matters. Everything we say, everything we do, our dreams, our passions are part of our purpose. And playing small has been a control mechanism that has been imposed on us.
Yeah.
And we need to step into, it's not selfish. It's selfish not to do it.
Amen.
And we've been taught the crap that it's the other way around.
Yeah.
So going for your dreams, going for your best life, taking care of yourself, becoming the most amazing person you can be is the best thing you can do for yourself in the world.
Yeah, I love that. You have a way with words. I love it. Absolutely. Take up space.
Yes.
From the get-go, it's like, yeah, absolutely. You said it better than I ever could. Man, I was gonna say, so as you were talking, I had a point I was gonna make, and then poof, out of my head.
Yep, that happens. Our brains so fast.
It does, especially mine. So is there any way people can reach out to you? I know I definitely will plug your book in the show notes. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. A Way with Words, but I absolutely love your title. Unlearn the Crap. You don't cut any corners or beat around the bush. You're straight to the point, and I think that is wonderful, and that's what people need. Definitely.
Thank you. The book was written based on my original coaching program.
Yeah.
Since I have written the book, I have revamped my coaching program so that it is more actionable and it creates more results. So right now at the launch of this book, I have a lot of discounts and special offers because I don't know when we're airing this, but I really want people to make 2024 the best year of their lives. It is a pivotal change. 2020 to 2023 were really difficult reset years for the whole world. And if we jump into this moment now, we can create a momentum of change and light and love that is going to change the world.
Yeah. That's the mission. Make it a whole new world for everybody. Make it a better world. Definitely.
Yeah. So I would love if anybody wanted, this is the time that I will be able to be most hands-on, most available at the lowest price possible. So I am here to help guide and coach in any way that I have different programs. I have the book. My website will be unlearnthecrap.com. And I have my riseupcoaching.io. I'm on Facebook. I'm everywhere.
Perfect. So all they got to do is search your name, they'll find you.
Yeah, and you have all the resources that I'm sure you're going to share as well.
Oh yeah, they'll all be in the show notes. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
What are we airing this shortly?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so if you don't mind me sharing, I made an offer in my launch last night that I will extend to your viewers as well, or your listeners. And that is if they want a free copy of the book that is signed by me addressed to them, that all they have to do is send a note, a DM to me and say, let's talk. Because if anyone wants that, all I'm asking is that they tell me why they want it, what touched them, and what value it will give to them. And I will put a copy in the mail to them.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you included that.
So yes, just send me a quick DM on Facebook, or Kathy at riseupcoaching.io is my email address, and just say, yes, I want to talk. I'll send you a link to a special page where you can get signed up for this program. I want the book out in as many people's hands as possible, but I also want to make sure that I'm delivering the right message, and that means I need to be talking to people.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on and talking with us and sharing your amazing message. It's really appreciated.
Thank you for helping to get this message out into the world. You are making a huge difference in this world, and I thank you for putting yourself out there.
Thank you.